let's dive in. So picture this if you can. An erotic dance scene, but it's set to this, like, pulsing club remix of Take That's Greatest Day.
Yeah, I mean...
That's literally how Sean Baker's new film, Anora, kicks off.
Yeah.
Right from the start.
And that tells you pretty much everything you need to know, doesn't it? You're in for something, well, unexpected. It's like a big signpost for the whole film.
Absolutely. So today we're doing a deep dive into the sources you sent over about this movie, the one that, just scooped the Palme d'Or at Cannes. Big deal.
Right. We've got stuff from a Moviescramble review and also their podcast discussion. We've really tried to pull out what makes this film tick, what makes it so compelling.
Yeah, our mission really is to sort through all that, get to the heart of what these sources are saying, and help you understand why this chaotic romantic drama is making such waves. It's quite something. Let's get into it. So the basic setup, the way the sources lay it out, it's almost like a fairy tale gone off the rails.
Yeah.
You've got a matey, that's Mikey Madison. She's an erotic dancer, Coney Island. And she meets Ivan, who's this really impulsive son of a Russian oligarch.
And impulsive is definitely the word. The sources really paint him as just instantly bowled over. He offers her, what, 15 grand?
Yeah, $15,000 just to be his live-in girlfriend for a week.
Which then, escalates, like, really fast.
Totally. Off to Vegas, and boom, they get married. Just like that. One source called it the ultimate 2 fingers up to his parents back home.
A big gesture, but one with immediate blowback. The parents find out, and they are not happy.
Not at all. They dispatch their, let's say, unique U.S. handlers to sort it out. Annulment time.
And that's where it really leans into being this chaotic, romantic drama the sources talk about. A real wild ride.
You're thrown into this world of, like, neon lighting, thumping club tracks, glitter hair, diamante underwear. It's a lot.
But it's not just surface flash, is it? The sources really stress this. It quickly becomes part screwball comedy, part force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and it gets under the character's skin. Sean Baker, when he did the Florida Project, he's known for this, right? Finding humanity.
Exactly. Making characters feel real, nuanced. So much so that, as one source said, you find yourself changing allegiances and questioning yourself while you're watching.
The writing got huge praise. Absolutely flawless, according to the review. And it apparently makes you feel everything cringe, laugh out loud, recoil.
Sometimes all in the same scene, probably.
Right. And it keeps you hooked, keeps you on side and on their toes for over 2 hours, which is no mean feat.
No, that balancing act, the, intense moments and sudden humor, but always grounded in these complex people. That seems to be what drives it.
And speaking of grounding it, there's one thing the sources absolutely agree on. It's Mikey Madison as a meanie. Her performance apparently just
dominates. Yeah, dominates the film is the phrase used.
And what's really interesting is how they make a point of saying she's not a clique.
Right. Not the tart with a heart, not just a gold digger. She's presented as a young woman who hustles, smart, a fast talker, a natural performer.
But there's more to it. As feelings for Ivan develop, the sources mention this softer side emerging. They even talked about her clothes changing when she's relaxing, like swapping work gear for oversized T-shirts and loungewear.
A little visual hint of vulnerability.
And her range sounds incredible. Vibrant and all-consuming. They mention specific moments, a piercing from the soul scream, then laughing coquettishly, then loving with everything she has. Just, wow.
Yeah, genuinely stunning performance was the quote.
It sounds like the film really cleverly uses her job to show that split, Her work persona, ballsy, empowered, assertive, totally in charge.
Which she has to be.
Exactly.
Yes.
Versus her at home, knackered, normal, softer, affectionate. It's that contrast, the work persona versus the real person, that sounds so compelling.
And apparently her confidence makes the nudity feel, well, functional, transactional. Yeah, less about titillation, more just part of the job, which feels more realistic, actually.
So the sources are really positioning this as her big breakout role. One even said it's potentially one of the best lead performances, male or female, they'd seen all year.
And it sounds like she's crucial. Her on-screen presence, the nuances, the sources basically say, without her, the film just wouldn't work as well. It'd be a lot duller. She's magnetic.
Which is important because, let's face it, the basic plot, parents hate the marriage, isn't totally new, is it?
No, it's familiar territory.
So it's her performance that really elevates it, makes it feel fresh. There was a bit of worry mentioned, though, that maybe Hollywood might, judge it by its cover, based on those opening scenes.
Which is funny considering how well it did on the European festival circuit, obviously culminating with the Palme d'Or. Quite a contrast.
Okay, so Ani's the core, But the characters around her got a lot of attention in the sources, too. Ivan, for instance. He's described as a total Peter Pan type.
Yeah, his main thing seems to be just immaturity, like profound immaturity. The sources mention his frantic attempts at sex, his life being all parties and PlayStations.
Refusing to join the family business because it's too much hard work.
Right. And this total petulance when his parents show up. He apparently goes from goofy new money to arrogant wee prick, which is quite the description.
And then the parents.
Yeah.
The oligarch father and the mother.
Yeah.
She seems to be the real power player, the brains behind it all.
Definitely. Driven by reputation, place, business, utterly dismissive of anyone she sees as beneath her, and especially Oni. Super dismissive.
Someone even mentioned her, look, the Ivanka Trump comparison, the quiff, the fur coat.
And asked that amazing question. Did you start off like Annie and that's why you hate her so much? Ouch.
Brutal. And she apparently calls Ani a prostitute to her face.
Wow. Okay.
The father's more in the background, the figurehead, though he does want Ivan to, quote, grow the fuck up.
He sounds maybe slightly amused by things his wife finds horrifying.
A little bit, yeah. But Ivan's future is all mapped out by his very sort of driven mother. That's why he's even in New York.
Right. And then there are the handlers, Toros. He's the Sean Baker regular, the Lucky Charm actor.
Karen Karagulian, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus Garnick and Igor. Initially, they just seem like, goons.
Yeah.
Hired muscle.
But apparently there's more to them. The sources picked up on a clear pecking order. Toros is the boss, and Ivan's godfather, too, which is interesting.
And later, yeah. Then Garnick, who's sometimes sick.
Weird detail, right. And Igor, the new guy, seems kind of shy, reluctant to get physical.
And these guys are behind that big mansion scene, the one described as straight out of an old-fashioned farce.
Yeah, chases around the couch, tying us up, slapstick violence. Sounds like it was fantastic to watch. Genuinely hilarious.
But even these guys, sources say, are very well written, well fleshed out, like Garnick being sick or Igor. There's apparently a surprisingly sensitive dynamic between him and Annie.
Quite beautiful to watch, was the phrase. That's unexpected for a supposed goon.
Totally. And they're also kind of incompetent when things get real. They didn't know what to do, always looking to Toros.
And Toros is just at the end of his tether. They seem more scared of the mother than the actual boss.
And they can't rough Ivan up, because he needs to look presentable for the annulment court appearance.
Which leads to Igor's hilarious strategy of just doing nothing unless explicitly told, playing the third guy perfectly.
There was also that quick note about the cultural angle, Toros being important in the Armenian-American community, but still totally subordinate to the Russian oligarchs. Little power dynamics at play. Shifting gears to the filmmaking itself, the style. The sources felt this one felt different for Sean Baker. Bigger, maybe grander.
Yeah, the camera work got called flashy and exciting. Like, in the beginning, it's intense, puts you right there with the characters.
But then in Ivan's huge house, the camera pulls back, shows the scale, the wealth, often from above.
And then when the parents arrive, it gets closed in, more tense. So he's using the camera, the scale, and intensity to really match the characters' feelings.
But you still get that Baker signature, that chaotic kind of movement. The camera rushing after Annie or following the handlers around frantically.
True, but maybe a bit smoother, a bit more polished than his earlier stuff. Suggests maybe, I don't know, more money, more freedom.
Could be. And technically, they loved that it was shot on actual 35mm film.
Not just digital made to look like film.
Right. And apparently made intentionally even more grainy, especially Vegas, to show that, yeah, it looks glamorous, but underneath it's still reality, maybe a bit crappy.
It's a deliberate choice. They also mentioned specific shots, like 360 sort of bits, and the camera mounted on the bonnet of the car. Things that really fitted the scenes very well.
And the pacing sounds relentless. The film flies in, no dips, no pacing issues, just grabs you and doesn't let go.
Because the characters are so well drawn, you just want to stay with them.
And the way it blends tones, that got a lot of praise. Jumping from chaos to heartbreak and back again.
Tonally, quite all over the place. Serious, sad, hilarious, slapstick. But crucially, not in a jarring way. You never felt like it hurt the story or the pace.
It feels like life just condensed. The sources found those wild tonal changes actually kept things interesting, gave you moments to breathe between the really heavy stuff.
And structurally clever, too, like setting up that rivalry between Annie and another dancer, Diamond, early on.
Yeah, that becomes very important to a later scene. Good writing. Using what's already there. Cleverly done.
Thinking about standout scenes, that restaurant scene on the boardwalk looking for Ivan.
Described as completely chaotic,
Yeah.
mirroring the handler chaos later.
Yeah.
And apparently it felt super real because they basically filmed it off the cuff.
Like gate crashed a private party with real patrons? That's classic Baker.
And the boardwalk run, apparently instead of cutting, he just shows the whole awkward run for comedy.
Love that. And the music. We have to mention the music. Incredible. Take that remix.
Someone couldn't stop listening to it.
I can believe it. The whole soundtrack sounds excellent, matching the visuals, thumping techno for the neon vibe. And apparently Tattoo by TATU makes an appearance too.
Oh, wow. Blast from the past. So the reception, obviously the elephant in the room, winning the Palme d'Or at Cannes, which is huge.
Quite a feat, yeah. A huge honor.
It also played London Film Festival. One of the sources went and said it was a great experience. You could feel the audience reaction, laughing, clapping.
That sounds like the best way to see it. And it continues a good run for Neon, the distributor, at Cannes. They've had a few winners lately.
Definitely. So the overall verdict from the sources, pretty glowing. Strong contender for Film of the Year. One of the best things seen recently. The phrase, brilliance needs to be seen to be believed, came up.
So the recommendation is a big thumbs up.
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. And definitely try to see it on the big screen cinema experience.
For the sound, mostly. Totally worth it for the soundtrack.
And for the shared experience. Those tonal shifts, the laughter. It's more enjoyable when you're sitting with an audience. Though they do think it'll probably hit streaming fairly quickly.
Makes sense. So, wrapping it up, why does it work so well, according to them?
It seems to be that perfect storm. Knockout performances, especially Madison. Fantastic writing, great direction. Balancing the chaos and the heartbreak.
That mix of fantasy, the millionaire lifestyle, and the reality of the hustle.
Exactly. It looks dazzling, dizzying, but the sources suggest, if you really look, that life is not quite as alluring as it promises. There's a grit underneath.
And there's a real hope it gets more awards buzz beyond Cannes for the writing, the acting.
Especially for Mikey Madison. They really hope she gets diverse roles after this, doesn't just get typecast. Okay, so we've really dug into Anora today, pulling from the sources on everything from that wild opening, the plot, the incredible performances holding it together, those complex side characters, Baker's unique style.
And obviously, it's big win at Cannes. It's clearly a film that's hard to pin down, mixes genres, mixes tones. One minute you're laughing out loud, the next it hits you with something really quite heartbreaking.
Yeah, and maybe the biggest thing we took from the sources is how it makes you, the viewer, constantly reevaluate. You see the flashy surface, this glamorous, chaotic world.
But the film keeps forcing you to look closer, doesn't it? To see the messy, complicated, sometimes painful reality hiding just beneath all that glitter.
Makes you think about performance, doesn't it? Not just Ani's job, but everyone's performance in life, and what's real versus what's just for show. What part of this deep dive stood out most to you?
Lots to think about.
That's all the time we have for today.
We'll catch you on the next one.